everyone. So today I decided I'm going to show everyone something simple. I'm going to be doing grilled hamburgers. So the first thing you're going to do is get all your vegetables together, which is what I did before. I got green peppers, orange, red, as well as tomatoes, red onions, and sweet onions, which it has a different taste than the yellow onions, even though sometimes they have like a slight yellow appearance, but they're more on the whiter side. And then my lettuce. And I'm going to have on the side a salad to go with it, since I'm going to have probably quite a bit of vegetables left over. So the first thing you're going to do is turn your heat on. So since I'm using a big pan, I'm going to just try to cut down my dishes. I want to just try to stick with the one pan for everything. So the first thing is I'm going to cook my vegetables because the meat's not going to take that long. So I put it around a 4. My settings go from like a low to high, 2 to like 8, 10. So it's like halfway on the temperature. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to peel your vegetables and prepare it. So I always cut the edges off. And then one slice, so it'll be easier to peel the outer layer. Some people like to use the outer, but to me it takes away from the taste because it has like a waxy type of texture. So I try to make sure all of that's off. And then I'm going to put my trash aside for now. Try to always keep a clean space when you're cooking. So I cut my onion in half. Then I'm going to slice it. And I like my onion sliced thin because you don't want it to have a overbearing texture when I'm cooking. But at the same time, I'm going to make it not too small because I'm going to also be using it with the salad. So I'm just going to do slices, then cut it in half, and you'll see how it'll turn out. And basically just keep doing the same thing with your other vegetables. Cut your edges off. And I do one slice down the center to be easier to pull the outer off. Sometimes it's easier if you keep your nails longer, but at the same time you have to then make sure when you're cleaning your fingernails are clean before you cook, because you don't want to get any dirt or anything. And if you have long sleeves like me, try to have them always pulled back too. So you're going to cut it in half, then you're going to slice. And I decided to go with hamburgers and a salad because that's something quick, since I got home later than I expected because of traffic. And at the same time, it won't be a super long video, and something simple and hopefully tasty at the same time that you guys might enjoy to make. So if you cut your onions, or at least most of the time, if you cut them like vertical to the main lines that are in it, it usually doesn't affect, at least with me, with my eyes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into my pot, my pan, because my pan should be warm now. And then I'm going to work on the other vegetables while I deal with that. So I like to separate them before I put them into the pan. And probably in the future videos, to save on time, I'll have the vegetables already chopped up and everything. Okay. And now, while this is going, you can also put some butter in there, but I want to have quite a bit of natural grease from the hamburgers later on anyway, so it should be fine. So with the center of my pepper, I cut them a little different. I cut the center out, which is where the plant has all of its seeds. So most of the time the seeds will all come out, but sometimes you'll have stragglers on the side. And I like to keep them because we have a natural garden in our yards. We try to keep the seeds and try to keep the vegetables growing each year. So I'm going to put them aside in another bowl I have. Just give me 1 second. And shake them out. That should be enough. At least most of the time I try to save them and put them aside. Keep an eye on your vegetables. You don't want them to cook too fast or cook and get burnt. So I'm going to slice my bell pepper like this. If you see anything wrong with the outside appearance, I try to cut that out first. But overall, this one looks pretty fine. I'm going to throw them in. And I want them to be long because I'm going to put some of this in my salad later anyway. And I'm not going to need a whole bell pepper. Actually, I'll just cut it up because I am making a salad. Get myself a wooden spoon, which I should have had ahead of time, and make sure the vegetables don't end up sticking. So you'll know when your onions are done because they'll have a transparent appearance to them. And part of the onions I'm going to take out because, like I said, I just wanted it lightly cooked, but you don't have to cook them like at all for being in a salad. But for the hamburger, I wanted it to be. Put this right here for now. And I need a few more bell peppers I want with my hamburgers, and my tomatoes I'll save for last. But for heating up, besides my peppers, I'm going to be putting ginger. So I just want just a little hint of it, not a whole lot, not to be overbearing or anything, but just so we can get our daily antioxidants in as many different ways that you can. And I like to cut it very thin so that you don't bite into anything and you get like a big chunk of anything. But basically it would be like minced. Okay. So, for example, that's how small I want it to be. So then when it's cooked, it'll be just like a hint of it in it. Okay. And then I'm going to actually add a little butter to it because it's cooking faster than I would want in a way right now, because I just wanted to show everyone what you need to put into it. So I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon into my vegetables, just to keep it from burning. Okay, so now most of my vegetables, if you can see, it almost has a transparent for the onion portion at least. And so what I'm going to do is let it be maybe about 2 more minutes, but I'm going to turn it down to low so I can cut the rest, of the vegetables that I'm working on. So with these type of mini sweet peppers, or also known as bell peppers, cut the centers out, and I want to save my seeds, so you just pull in here and you can get most of your seeds out. So this part of actually the regular vegetables I'm going to put here, because that's all going to go into my salad later, and this is going to go into my garden hopefully soon, so I can get some time. Okay, and then this will go there, and then I'm going to cut it just like so. I'm going to take my vegetables out for now and just put everything together for that's also going to be going with my salad, because it's not going to hurt anything, and I don't want to use a lot of bowls, so I'm just going to scoop it all in to my bowl. And when you're working with hot foods, you have to make sure whatever you're using is not going to melt if you're going to put it directly hot into it, because some plastics will, and some other materials. But if you use like stoneware or ceramics, it should be fine. So put this over here. I have my bell peppers. These I'm going to cut my cross sections again, so they'll be into halves. And like I said, I'm making them a little bit bigger than if I was just doing it for my regular hot dogs only, because I don't want them so tiny that when I go to try to bite into anything for the salad, it's hard to grasp. So my inside, pull it out, and that's it. And with your bell peppers, the darker the colors are, so like the red ones versus the orange, and certainly with the green, the one main difference is that you're going to have a whole lot more vitamin C in your red peppers than your orange. And your orange is going to have even more than your yellow, and your yellow even more than your green. Just for a little tidbit. And vitamin C is especially good now, especially with all the colds that are going around, coronavirus, stomach flus, it's crazy. So you want to try to stock up on as much as you can for your antioxidants. And my tomatoes I don't need to cook. I think that's going to be enough for my cooked vegetables. So for my uncooked, I'm going to do the same thing, but to speed up, I'm just going to do them both at the same time. Just cut it around. Cut it around. Pull the seeds out. Pull the seeds out. Okay. And shake, shake, shake. Throw a few stragglers in here. Okay, that's good enough. Because you can eat the seeds too. That's what's in a lot of your seasonings. And before you use your vegetables, always, always, always wash them, because you can get sick even from your vegetables not being washed properly, depending on where they come from, depending on the type of soil and nutrients that's used with them. So my peppers, I don't need them cooked real hard. I just want them like roasted slightly. So I'm taking them out. So all my cooked vegetables are done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hamburgers on. So I got 8 patties, but I'm only going to be doing a few at a time because you don't want your pot to be crowded. So basically have your patties in. You can make them from scratch. You can use them from any company, whatever, you know, is your preference, or your time restrictions even. So what you're going to do is have your meat on. You're going to have it, again, I'm going to turn my heat now back up to about a 6 because I want my meat to be cooked thoroughly, because you can get very sick also if your food isn't cooked well enough. But it should only take about 8 or 10 minutes for your hamburgers to be cooked. And you can just have them like this, or you can actually add different seasonings to it. My family likes a whole lot of different seasonings, so I just put some different ones together. You can use whatever your preference is. Again, like I said, I'm trying to keep everyone's immunity up real high, so I'm going to be using a whole lot of ginger and garlic and Italian seasonings. And then I also have some paprika in there. Let's see what else. Some barbecue seasonings that are like Memphis. I try to stick away from using onions a lot ever since I ended up becoming a dog mom, because onions are toxic to dogs. So whatever hamburgers I end up having that I end up sharing with the dog, I end up trying not to have any onions in them. But most vegetables that I can recall, there shouldn't be any issues. But don't hold me to it because I didn't get to toxology yet. Hopefully, maybe the next year or so I will, so then I can tell you. But for now, just stick away from onions. So that's been about 2 minutes. You'll see it has like a slight brown, like a darker color. So some people like to just keep it on one side till it's almost done and flip it, and just only flip it once. But I like to flip it occasionally, just so also like my seasonings would get into it better. So I just take some of the seasoning while it's cooking and I just sprinkle on top of it as well as in the pan itself, because when the hamburger makes its own grease, which normally happens, the seasonings will get into it, so it'll end up like marinating while it's cooking. So far that seems like it should be probably plenty of seasoning that I need. Hopefully not too much. But that's basically it with that. And then what I'm going to do is take this out the way, and I'm going to prepare my lettuce for my salad, so I'm not wasting any time. And where did and sorry about that. Every time I try to make sure I have everything prepared, I always figure out something else I forgot to have. So, going to flip it again. It's been only a minute, but with this stove, since it's a conventional, it cooks faster even on top for the stove top. So you have to watch it more. And I'm going to turn it down now, since the pot's pretty hot, to about a 3, and let that still cook. So if your lettuce, I want to probably use most of this because it's 4 of us. If you cut your lettuce, the base you usually want to keep, because if you take the base off, then your lettuce will end up going faster. So want to cook or cut up the whole thing. So I'm just going to cut right here in half, or maybe 2/3, and go all the way through. And then this part I'm probably going to keep. I don't know yet if I want to grow it this year or not, but we'll see. But anyway, the outer layers you just peel off, and if you see any brown spots, you just get rid of them. But I like to separate the leaves, because sometimes if you don't, you'll end up having like a random brown spot in here, like there. And like I said, anything that you can do to prevent yourself from getting sick, it's best to do. Preventive measure is a lot better than some cures. And then just cutting it up into strips. And I can smell the hamburgers more, so I'm going to check on it again. So it's only been 4 minutes, but it's actually really close to there. So as you can see, it has like a darker appearance. And you'll tell when it's done. It'll look, if you do everything right, it'll look like if you just went out and bought one. So, before I continue, sorry I'm a little all over the place. Eventually I'll get the hang of trying to share how to for videos. So, what was I going to do? I am going to take some of the vegetables out that I'm going to use for the hamburgers. So, the ones that I cooked earlier, I'm going to take and put into this bowl. When I placed them in here earlier, I tried to keep the ones that were cooked separate from the ones that were raw, even though you can eat them either way, but it'll just give a different taste to it. So that should be enough for now. We like a lot of vegetables, and it's good for you. So I think that should be plenty for my 8 burgers, and this is what my lettuce is going to be. And then after I have my horizontals, I'm going to cut them again so they're a nice size to grab with a fork. I always cook more than I intend, but I'm trying to cut back because I don't want to have any leftovers, since we try not to have that. And these can be cut again. Put my hamburgers, it's been about a minute. So when I started, it was around 15 minutes after, and now it's 21, so it's like been 6 minutes. Let's see. So I want to add more bell peppers. Right. Well, whatever I don't use with the hamburgers, I'm just going to throw back in the salad anyway. So for now, that's going to be probably plenty. So I don't want to cut up any more than I have to. And I'm just going to pull the leaves off, even though you can cut it when it's already compact, which some people do, but like I said, I'd rather actually look at each leaf and make sure everything is fine, there's no brown spots, there's no dirt, because even though you can clean them real well, you still can end up having some dirt hidden in between. And I like to grab it close to my hand and then just cut away. eye also on your meat. Lettuce is here. I might add some croutons to it, I don't know. Should have some extra bread that's seasoned around. I think I'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 more rows. That should be enough, maybe. Well, let me flip this over again. That looks good. Okay. So it looks like they're about there. Just like I said, about 8-10 minutes. You just have to, you know, look at it and see how it goes. But it was 15. It's close. It's been 9 minutes now. So it's 24 now. And then with your salads, you can have not just vegetables, you can also add fruit to it, which I like to do more so in the summertime, but sometimes I like to do it in the winter just to change things up. Even though soon it'll be spring, so vegetables will be a lot more readily able to be purchased at the store. Because I like more homegrown than store-bought and locally grown versus buying overseas, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so looks like they're actually done. So I'm going to take them off in a minute, but I'm going to first of all get myself a plate, put them on, and when they all finish, then I'll prepare them with the bread. But unfortunately, because of this pandemic that's going on, most of the stores were out of even bread. So I ended up getting, like I have sandwich bread and stuff, but they didn't have hamburger rolls. So I have rolls that were made, and I'm just going to, this is the bread, and then I'm just going to slice them in half, and pretty much it'll be a hamburger bun. So I'm going to put my new meat on. One thing I like about these is it doesn't have a lot of grease. Other companies I looked at, they, like if I take the hamburgers out, they're like swimming in grease, which I don't like that. But some people like really, really greasy foods. But again, everyone has different preferences. But even though sometimes not everything that I'll fix is healthy, I still try to have a healthy mindset involved with whatever I'm fixing. So I put my seasoning on the one side, have my lettuce cut up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix up and what I'm going to do, I wasn't thinking I could probably just use tongs, but sometimes it's more fun to be in touch with your food. So I'm going to actually add more of the bell peppers to it, some more of the fried onions, and put in some pieces of the ginger in there, just to give it a little kick. plenty. You don't want to overpower your food. And I might, just for a slight sweetness to it, I might put an apple with it. I'm not sure yet. So, 28 now. So around 36 should be done with everything. My salad's pretty much done. This is how it almost has turned out. I'm going to throw that straggler piece away. And let's see. There's an apple. 1 sec. Okay, so I'm going to use today Red Delicious and Gala because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to use. And it'll give your salad like a slight sweet and tart. So I'm not going to peel it today because I don't need a lot. But when you're cutting, you want to be careful not to get the core, because then I'll just take away from the way your food tastes. So I just cut it into like quarters, and then I'm going to thinly slice it. And then I'm going to cut it again. So it'll be not too big. And then sprinkle it into your salad, like so. And I want to do the same thing with my Red Delicious, and then the other part I don't use in my salad, I'm just going to eat. So I'm only going to use about half. And I'm going to put my hamburgers on there. And because the pan was already seasoned, that's why I didn't have to add as much seasoning as with the others. So with these four, I'm not going to be sharing it with my dog Dante, so I'm going to add these two. But the bell peppers that are with the meat that's cooking, Dante can eat. And that's the only way sometimes I can get him to eat vegetables. He's so picky. But that's unfortunately the terrier. I assume that's it. So cut it really thin again. See? Maybe like this. And then I'll cut them again. Just sprinkle them in. And I'm going to mix my salad more. You don't want all your vegetables in one spot. A little bit more, but you don't need a whole lot. The one thing good about cooking, you can always be creative, but try not to, how do I put it? Always try to think about what foods you're using and if they will go together or not. Because sometimes you like a whole lot of things and then you put a whole mix of them together, and fortunately it could either not go well, or it could end up having a disagreement with you. But like I said, a lot of cooking comes with time and trial and error, or if you're lucky and blessed, you can just learn from your family, or there's so many resources out there now. It's a lot better than when I was a little kid, but I liked it because my parents taught me different stuff when I was young, so now it just kind of comes naturally. So that should be plenty. Like I said, I don't want it to turn into like a fruit salad. And I don't want my vegetables over here to burn. Everything looks great so far. And my hamburgers are almost done. Got 3 more minutes. Keep your sleeves up. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Let's see. Mix this up again. Careful not to make a mess while you do it. And if you notice any of your vegetables are real big and you want to cut them down, go right ahead. This is what I did. Okay, that's that. And all my extra stuff I'll take care of while that finishes in a minute. So my apples, I'll put aside so then I can eat that for a snack. And hamburgers are about done. This is my extra vegetables. I have to cut my tomatoes, and that should be it. So I want tomatoes in my salad too, so I'm just going to slice them. But I do like to save the seeds from them too, but this time, for shortness of time, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to put some around. And I need some tomatoes for my hamburgers too. But with them, all I need I don't know, maybe I'll do 4 or 5. I'll just do 6. And this one I'll save, because I don't need to cook everything in one day. Okay. Hamburgers now should be done to 36. Yep. They're cooked pretty well. And what I'm going to do now is put them directly into my bread, but since my bread is smaller than I would like, I'm going to maybe have to cut the hamburger. I'm not sure yet. Figure it out together. I'll take my bread, get my biggest pieces. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only need 8, so I have 1 left over. So put these here for now. They're all going to be with meat anyway. Your sleeves back. Okay, so, so I'm going to cut my bread in half. And then what I'm going to do is take each of these patties and I'm going to actually show you how I'm going to fix them. I might not do all of them on there yet, but we'll see. Take hamburgers out. Actually, I want to keep these hamburgers separate because it's daunting. Put this bread back. Should I put them with the vegetables? It doesn't matter. And put these here. And the vegetables that are cooked with them. Still want to keep it. And that's pretty much it. So if you follow that, then you should be able to make your own similar, but probably not exactly the same because no one exactly cooks the same. So what I'm going to do, since they're so much bigger, I'm going to cut them and just make them into a double layer. On the inside, it should be completely brown, no red or blood. And then I'm going to get some of my vegetables after I find a fork. Take out my fork. And put some of my vegetables with it. So my onions. Pepper, and then not all of them are going to have cheese, but this one is. So I have Swiss and American I'm going to use, and then I'm also going to use bread and butter mayonnaise on some mushrooms and ketchup. Unfortunately, since I wasn't able to get the hamburger buns, because someone from like all the stores bought them out, they'll just be like mini sliders. Well, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So I'm going to put them here like that, so the heat from the hamburger will make it also melt. Meanwhile, I'm going to take my mayonnaise and just put some on the burger bun, which I have that taste from the hamburger on it because I put it originally on it, so it'll be like that. But not quite done yet because I want to put some more mayonnaise on. It's just not the right type of knife, but at the same time, I don't want a lot of dishes, so for now that has to do. And then I'm going to put a few bread and butter pickles. Put one here and one on the middle. And then, since my heat should be still hot, this is not opening for me. Okay. What I'm going to do is just, I want to fry them a little. They taste a little bit better to me when they're fried. So you can eat them, or eat some types raw too. Okay. Now it's not going to take long. And meanwhile, I'm going to put some ketchup on it. And that'll be it. I think that's everything I can think croutons to my salad. That's about it. And I'm going to put my mushrooms in the middle. It doesn't take long, like it maybe was a minute or 30 seconds, I don't know, I wasn't quite looking. But you'll get like a nice color. And I'm just going to add this to the vegetables and meat I have here. Okay. Here, take some of my mushrooms in the middle, flip it, and there's my hamburger. So I'll just continue to do that for the other ones, but that's pretty much how you make hamburgers. So it's pretty simple. I don't think there should be any difficulty to it. I just wanted something that would be relatively fast and simple, since some of my friends asked for some more ideas. So there you go. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. And if you like this video and want to see others, just kindly like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you think and any other type of videos you'd like to see in the future. Take care, and you guys stay well and try not to get sick with all this that's going around. Take care. Bye-bye.